that was happening in your neighborhood. How about this one? An entire parking lot filled with cars that were parked and turned off. Their headlights suddenly started flashing out of control.
Okay, legit, I had to like pull over and like pull this back up because I thought maybe it's a car party, right? There's a bunch of like those weird looking Tesla vehicles over there, and I thought maybe it's like a car club. They're just all meeting up, and it's a Thursday night. I just want to show you, but there's no one over there. There's not a body. There's not a person. Like if it was a car club, those are pretty common around Atlanta. But look at this. I'm gonna zoom in just so you. But the video that I heard it was like this girl who was saying like, have you seen any of like the lights flickering or anything like that? And then there was a guy in Jersey who was like, yeah, my apartment car, I mean my like house lights, I'm sorry, my house lights have been going off and like flickering. And she made a video of like lights just like this doing the same thing in a parking lot. I have no idea how to find that or stitch it, but this is what's happening.
So there you have a parking lot in Atlanta, Georgia, where dozens of cars, for no reason, have all begun to flash their lights at the same time. It was a Thursday night. There was no special event taking place, and there was no alarms going off. It wasn't making a sound of any kind at all, just dozens of cars all at the same time flashing their lights as drones are flying overhead. Now, I want to show you this next video, and this next video takes everything that you know about drone activity and takes it to the whole next level. If you're on social media, if you're on X or Instagram, one of the things that's trending right now is the tag glowing sphere or glowing orb. And that's what started popping up a couple of nights ago. So take a look at whatever this is, and let me see in the chat room what you think it is.
Would be a bigger bummer. So these are much more valuable types of crops, and you got to be a lot more careful around them. And it really hasn't been until recently that technology has advanced to the point where we can do these kinds of things in these very, very tight spacing, very precious crops around us as we're navigating through and doing those pre and post harvest work.
That's Ag Autonomy's co-founder and CEO Tim Hoover. For the last 40 years, the Ag Information Network has been the source of news for farmers and ranchers.
Look at that thing glowing. You tell me what you think it is. I want to see in the chat room what everybody thinks that is. It's scary looking. I'm going to play that again.
Would be a bigger bummer. So these are much more valuable types of crops, and you got to be a lot more careful around them. And it really hasn't been until recently that technology has advanced to the point where we can do these kinds of things in these very, very tight spacing, very precious crops around us as we're navigating through and doing those pre and post harvest work.
That's Ag Autonomy's co-founder and CEO Tim Hoover. For the last 40 years, the Ag Information Network has been the source of news for farmers and ranchers.
All right, people in the chat room, one person says hologram, another person says evil, another person says Project Bluebeam. That's some really, really wild stuff that's going on. So, with that in mind, let me get you up to speed with all the breaking news regarding drones that have taken. Now, look, we just did a podcast yesterday. It's only been 25 hours since we did our last podcast. But take a look at what has happened in the last 25 hours. Wild stuff.